Chapter 45. Before the first clash. The promise had been made. And after that, no one stayed. One by one, they walked out of the tent. No laughter followed them. No final words. Only footsteps. Heavy, measured, distant. Some stopped at the entrance. Not all. Just a few. They turned. Looked at Alex. Not with trust. Not with doubt. Something more complicated. As if asking, will this really work? Alex didn't answer. He didn't need to. They gave a small nod and left. The tent that had once felt suffocating now felt hollow. Not empty. Just missing something. Energy. Alex stood still, arms crossed, eyes steady. But his mind was already moving ahead. Calculating. Planning. A few moments passed. Silence stretched. Then, he turned. Two people were still seated. White whale. Two-head dragon. Neither of them shifted. Neither spoke. They weren't hesitating. They had chosen to stay. Alex didn't ask why. He already knew. This conversation was not meant for others. A long silence followed. Not awkward. Deliberate. White whale finally exhaled slowly. I won't waste time. Her voice was calm, but it carried weight. We both know something. She leaned slightly forward, eyes locking onto Alex. We three are the strongest here. Two-head dragon gave a slow nod. No argument there. White whale didn't look away. So, I'll ask you directly, White wolf. Your promise. A pause. Was that real? Or was it something you said to keep them together for one night? Silence answered her first. Alex didn't rush, didn't react. He let the question settle. Then, he spoke. Tomorrow, we fight each other. His voice was calm, controlled. No one said it, but everyone felt it. He shifted his gaze between them. This stage isn't forgiving. No second chances. If you lose, you disappear. White whale's gaze dropped for a fraction of a second. That's why it's harder now. Her voice softened. Not weak, just honest. To defeat someone when you know exactly why they're fighting. A pause. Tomorrow, I face Snowflake. For the first time, her composure showed a crack. Her journey, and by my hands. The words didn't shake, but the silence after them did. Two-head dragon stepped forward. I face Grey Wolf. His tone was firm, grounded. Even if I hold back, even if I don't go all out, I will win. No arrogance, just certainty. White whale spoke again. And you? Her eyes narrowed slightly. You'll face Silva. That name lingered longer than the others. A brief silence followed. Then, slowly, so tell me, White Wolf, why make that promise? When tomorrow, we are the ones who will break it? Alex didn't interrupt, didn't deny it. He answered, that's exactly why we have to win. Both of them looked at him. If we lose the right to protect anyone. But if we win, we gain something they don't. A pause, authority, influence, power. His voice lowered slightly, enough to protect them. Two-head dragon let out a short laugh, but there was no humor in it. You actually believe that? He took a step forward. You think Lysara will let losers stay? You think she'll bend rules? For you? Alex didn't argue. He simply nodded. That alone made the air sharper. Two-head dragon's eyes hardened. You're either fearless or stupid. Another step forward. If this fails, I won't hesitate. I'll cut you down myself. The air shifted. Tension rose. But before it broke, White Whale stepped in. Enough. One word, but absolute. Two-head dragon stopped. Not because he wanted to, because he understood. White Whale turned back to Alex. You're not trying to save them. A pause. You're trying to control the outcome. That was the first real insight. Alex didn't deny it. Call it what you want. He exhaled slowly. We don't need everyone to win. We need the right people to win. That line changed everything. Both of them leaned in slightly. If even one of us wins, we gain access to power they don't have. He looked at White Whale. And with that, we make decisions, not follow them. Two-head dragon crosses arms. Keep going. Alex continued. Tell me something. How strong is the Adventurer Guild compared to the royal family of Greyfard? White Whale answered immediately. It isn't. It exists because the royal family allows it to exist. That was enough. Two-head dragon straightened. So that's your plan? If I win, you want me to use royal power to clear names? His voice darkened. I won't. I'll use it to crush my clan. His aura flared, not wildly, but dangerously. Alex didn't move. People who don't understand fire get burned by it. That was enough. Two-head dragon stepped forward instantly, but White Whale stepped in between. This time, firm. Enough. Her voice dropped. You'll hear him out. She looked at Alex. Explain your plan. Alex nodded and began. Not everything was spoken. Some parts were implied. Some left unsaid. But one thing became clear. This wasn't a gamble. It was a calculated risk. A dangerous one. When he finished, silence returned. But it wasn't the same silence. This one carried understanding. White Whale turned first. You're either going to win everything or destroy everything. Then she walked away. Two-head dragon remained. If this fails, we burn with you. Alex replied, without hesitation. Then don't let it fail. A small smirk appeared. Then he left. And once again, Alex was alone. But this time, he wasn't just thinking, he was leading, even if he didn't realize it yet. That night, Alex walked toward the royal court. The guards didn't stop him. They recognized him. Lysara had already granted permission. He reached her chamber. Didn't knock. Didn't speak. He simply slid something inside and walked away, back in the tent. He didn't sleep, not even for a moment. Your plan is dangerous. Linareth's voice echoed. You're leaning too heavily on the royal family. If it bends the wrong way, everything collapses. Alex let out a quiet laugh. That's what makes it worth trying. A safe plan isn't a winning plan. Morning came. All 16 fighters stood inside the arena. The battlefield stretched wide. Massive. Cold. Perfectly structured. Rows of seats filled the surroundings. Organized. Controlled. Like everything had already been decided. Alex walked to his assigned seat. Sat down. One by one, the others joined. Kita, White Whale, Silva, Grey Wolf. They sat close. Too close. As if nothing had changed. Even though everything had, above them, a massive projection lit up. A woman in white appeared. Her presence alone silenced the arena. Congratulations to the 16 rankers. Her voice was calm, controlled, absolute. She explained the rules. One match, one winner, one loser. No second chances. Silva glanced at Alex. He didn't look back. Also, she continued, by Lady Lysara's order, all defeated participants will remain until the tournament ends. That changed everything. White Whale and Two-Head Dragon both turned toward Alex. But Alex didn't react. Not even glance. Then, another announcement. Special guests have arrived. Clan leaders, merchant guild heads, adventurer guild representatives, all under Lady Lysara's authority. The arena was no longer just a battlefield. It was control, power, influence. Then, the final moment. Let us begin. The first match. The Great King versus Kongar. The crowd erupted. And then, something else began. Betting. Hands were raised. Money exchanged. Tokens distributed. People weren't watching fighters. They were pricing them. They bet on winners. On time. On outcomes. Even on death. Alex's jaw tightened. They're not watching battles. They're gambling on suffering. Anger rose. Sharp. But he controlled it. Because he understood. This was the cost. The cost of asking favors from Lysara. High above, Lysara watched. A faint smirk curved her lips. I know what you're thinking, Alex. You must be cursing me right now. Her fingers rested lightly on the armrest. But this is your punishment. You slid your request into my chamber, like you were giving me an order. Her eyes narrowed slightly. If you had asked properly, I would have agreed without hesitation. A pause. But you didn't. So now, you learn. Learn how to treat a woman properly. She leaned back slightly. Sorry, Goddess Alexa, but your brother needs this lesson. Below, the arena roared, and the first clash finally began. And so, the first clash begins. Not just a battle of strength, but a battle of reasons. Promises will be tested, bonds will be broken, and only those who endure will move forward. This is just the beginning. If you want to see what happens next, make sure you're part of the journey. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe to Echoes of Nova. Backhand index pointing right, and step deeper into the Broken Realm. Because the next chapter changes everything.